This is Loretta, and I'm coming at you today with a video tutorial for Scrapbooking with Me Boutique, along with a show and tell for a swap that I'm in over on myscraproom.ning.com. And I will put links to everything down below in the description bar. Today we're going to be making this cute little bag. I do have an opening with a magnetic closure, and as you'll see, it has a really good amount of room on the inside. This is not my original idea. I came up with it on Pinterest, and I will put a link to that below as well. However, since I did change all of the dimensions and the closure, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make this today. So for the purposes of the tutorial, I'm going to be using white cardstock along with a different color of pattern paper so that you'll be able to easily see what I'm doing. So we're going to start with a piece of paper that is 11 inches by 11 inches. And we're going to get our scoreboard. So we're going to score at 1/2 inch. And then we are going to score at 4.5 inches, at 6.5 inches, at 10.5 inches, and then we are going to flip the paper, and we are going to score at 2.5 inches, and at 8.5 inches. We are going to fold the 1/2 inch pieces to the opposite side. Alright. We'll go ahead and use a bone folder. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and just crease in all of our fold lines. All of our score lines. Alright, for my swap partners over at ning.com, all of your score lines will be made. So when you get your kit, it will look something like this. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm showing the members of Scrapbooking with Me Boutique, if they would like to follow along, how they can make theirs with their own cardstock and pattern paper. Alright, so this crease that runs along right here, what we're going to do is we're going to bend that crease, and we're going to bend that crease, and we're going to bring it to the front, just like that. We're going to match it with this side right here, and we're just going to bring it in just like so. And we're going to crease it, and then we'll hit it with our bone folder. Okay, and we're going to do that with all of these creases right here. So this one over here that you see on this side, we're going to, and I'll bring this around so that you can see, we're going to match that to that line. We're going to set the crease on the inside, and then we're going to fold it. Okay, we're going to repeat that on this side. We'll bend this right there. And once we get that bent, we'll go ahead and match it to this line and go ahead and crease that down. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. And if you just bend it a little bit, you can see where it's going to go, okay? Like, you just bend it just a little bit like this. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to get an angle where my hands are not in the way. There we go. We're just going to crease that down. So you wind up with something that looks like this, okay? Like this, all right? And so the idea is that this is going to fold like this, okay? So that's the idea. And if you go ahead and fold that in, I'm going to do it again for you, okay? Just take this. These right here are the sides of your box. and then fold this in like so, okay? And if you take that and go ahead and just pinch it just a little bit, these little sides will take on a little fold of their own, but you don't want that to be a hard fold. Alright, so the next step that we're going to take is we're going to flip our paper upside down. For the purposes of the speed of this video, I'm going to use an ATG runner. You will want to use red line tape. So I've got my pattern paper, and what I've done is I have cut the pattern paper at 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to go ahead and add my adhesive. So this score line here, you will want to go ahead and butt your pattern paper up and then align it between these two score marks here. Go ahead and adhere that down, flip it over, do the same on the opposite side. Again, line that up with this score right here, score mark. Go ahead and butt it up, get it between the two, and center it down. And what you're going to do is you're going to use a red line adhesive across the top fold of this and secure it down. You're going to do the same thing on the opposite end. You're going to take red line tape, and secure it down. The next step that we're going to take is we're going to attach our ribbon. So for that, I've got 2 ribbons, and I have cut mine to approximately 11 inches or maybe a little bit more. And then I've got 4 brads. And you guys can use whatever brad you'd like. In my actual project, I use smaller brads. And I also used a paper piercer. I'm going to come in on this corner about maybe a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole where my brad is going to go. And I'm going to do that on all 4 sides of the project. As I said, I'm eyeballing it. I'm going in just about a 1/2 inch. This does not have to be perfect by any means. And as I said, for the actual project, I use small brads and a paper piercer. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you orient your ribbon in the way that you want it to appear to the front. So like right here, I would like for the ribbon to look like this. Okay. So I'm just going to take a hold of my ribbon. I'm going to put it to the back of my hole. And I'm going to go ahead and insert my brad. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and insert that through. And alright, there we go. Now this brad is a little bit too long, so I'm just going to clip it off. Just trying to be quick for the purposes of this video. Clip it off, okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and here again, I just want to make sure that I have my ribbon how I want it to be on my box. And I want it to go like this. I want it to look like that, so I'm just going to hold my ribbon where I need it to go. And I'm going to insert my brad. Right there. And repeat on this side. Hold it where I want it to go. I'm going to go ahead and put my brad through. folks. And then I'm going to do the other side. And again, I'm just making sure that I've got my ribbon going in the direction I need it to go in. So I'm just going to hold it there so that I have it how I want it to go. I'm going to go ahead and put my brad through. Now the next step, and again you will want to use red line tape for this, is that I'm going to stick these where my brads are. I'm going to stick those down. You will want to use red line or some other really strong adhesive, but just for the purposes of this video, I'm using the ATG because it's quicker. You're going to do that on this side as well. And stick that down. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and do this side. And stick that down. And then the last side right here. It's right here. And right there. You have the basis of your bag right there. Now the next thing that we're going to work on is the closure. For the closure, 1 inch by 3.5, and we're going to score that at 1.5 and 2. And that's just so that it will give us an opening at the top of the bag. And I do put a piece of paper over the magnet to help it to stay closed. And what I did is I just took a piece of copy paper, cut a little piece of that, and ran it through my sticker maker. And I've got my magnet here. And I'm just going to go ahead and burnish the end of that magnet to make the adhesive a little bit easier to get off. Alright. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put my adhesive on one side. And here again, I would use red line tape or score tape, something really, really strong. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be really quick. I'm going to line this score mark with this edge, and I'm going to attach it. I'm going to attach my magnet on the other side of the flap and press that down really well. I'm going to take one of my pieces of paper and I'm going to go over that magnet with the piece of paper, and I'm just going to secure that down really, really well. Get my other magnet, take the adhesive off. Alright, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is bring this around to the other side. I'm going to align where I need that to go. I'm going to take my bone folder in there, and I'm going to really adhere that well, and then I'm just going to kind of slide it up like that so that the magnet will stay on there. Okay? Now I'm going to put my other piece of paper over where this magnet is, and I'm not worried about it being a plain piece of paper because that flap is going to cover this up when it's all said and done. Alright, and then you have the closure. There you have it. In my kit, that my people will get. They will get the trim. It's a different kind of trim because I didn't have enough of this. They will get the button, and they will get the twine. They will get the flower, and they will get, what I did is I took some Prima canvas and I ran it through my printer and I printed the word happy. I did not banner cut these in case you guys wanted to do something else. I did include a couple of pieces of the pattern paper so that you could choose to layer it up 3 times, 2 times, or just however you wanted to do that. And then I also included this butterfly. And really quickly, I was just going to show you how I did the butterfly. And what I did is I took a piece of acetate and I stamped the butterfly. I stamped the butterfly using an archival ink. You could use Ranger Archival or StazOn. It will take a little while for that to dry. Then what I did is I took my stylus and I went along the outline of the body of the butterfly with my stylus. And what that does when you do that with the plastic is it allows the plastic to stand up. Then what I did is I took my stickles and I put stickles in the body of the butterfly, a dot on each of the end of the antennas, and then I put some dots on the sides of the butterfly. So that's how I came out with the butterfly. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have any questions or comments at all, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye now.